Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Susan Kennedy, Channel of Light, bringing you a reading for Monday, February the 6th. Quite an interesting energy we've got this week, and love to hear your comments as we go through. The biggest thing that we're in the middle of is the ending of this full moon energy and moving into what I would describe as a convergence. So, you know how I work. This morning I woke up and I'm hearing harmonic convergence. And I'm saying, well, that was in 1987. And in 1987, as a collective, all of us came together and there was this energy of meditation for the planet, meditation for change. And so we've been in a period since 1987 of massive upheaval, chaos, destruction, a breaking down of the way that we live, a breaking down of our beliefs and the way that life is for us. And so very much what we're looking at is a time now of this reaping of the rewards, is the only way I want to say it. So it's kind of a really exciting week, because no matter how painful life has been for you, how difficult, how interesting it's been, there's certainly a breakthrough this week. So a sense of being really uplifted, inspired, a sense of things changing, a sense of love coming back, and maybe reconnection with love. So for change to happen, it has to take time. And I know we've been hearing this over and over and over again. And I'm also being very drawn to the fact that this week there's also if you think about 1987 and now, that's a long, long time. So we're looking at this breaking of that energy and moving into what is the end of a mini cycle, like a 7-year cycle. So that 7-year cycle, how does that affect you? How's it affecting you this week? The way I see it, the way Spirit is showing it to me, is almost like there is a mirror that has been broken or shattered. And that mirror represents the way that you see yourself, the vision that you have for who you are, the vision for your life, the vision of, that limitations, the expectations, the way that others see you, the way that you see yourself, all of those kind of things. So definitely got this energy this week of you looking at yourself and saying, well, who am I really? And really reconnecting with who you are really. And that this last 7 years particularly, a huge amount of work has been done. Now, whether you've consciously been doing the work or subconsciously doing the work's been being done. And for those of you that have maybe been less conscious of the process, things will have been happening around you to trigger you, to wake you up, to stop you in your tracks. And I know for many of you, you've been stopped in your tracks through one thing or another. And when we get stopped in our tracks, it's so that we can actually really look at what we need to change or how we need to refocus, rechange our view of things. So yeah, I really encourage you to think about that this week, this 7-year cycle. What was happening to you 7 years ago? Now, I always find it difficult to think about the year, what was 7 years ago. I'm not all that good at maths, so it would have been, where are we, 3? It would have been 2015. Yeah, 2015? No, that's 8 years. 2016 would be 7 years ago. And if you think back to then, or maybe take 5 years off your current age, how old are you now? Where were you? 7 years ago. I'm getting all confused this morning. So 7 years ago, what age were you? What were you doing? What did you feel about yourself? What did you think about yourself? And how has that changed? And I think if you can tap into that this week, the how that has changed for you, you're going to start to really recognize the difference and the work that you've done. Because we're not always, consciously, I am, because that's who I am, that's what I do, and consciously focusing every day on, what is that about? Why is that happening? What can I learn from it? And I would encourage you as you go forward to maybe this week look at the changes for this for how you're feeling at the moment. So it's, really a beautiful week of recognition of how far you've come, but definitely a change in the feeling. So, a standing tall, a being proud, a feeling lighter, because when you are going through this collective change, which as humanity we are, we're going through a change that is saying if some of us do that work and we're looking for peace within, if we're looking for harmony, then that harmonic convergence energy, which was put in place in 1987 and has been, back in time as well, by the way. We're not the beginners of this work. If you think about going back to the time of Jesus, the time of Mary, all of this energy was in place then. And we've collectively been moving through the dark ages and through to what we call a new age, but it's not really a new age. It's an age of enlightenment. So in March, we have this huge alignment of planets that's coming up, a huge opening, a huge time of where things will seem to just break open. And I'm being shown that at that time, there'll be a massive amount of angelic presence and galactic presence supporting us, guiding us, but where we actually feel their presence, where we're actually more and more aware of who those angelic beings are and how they show up in our lives each and every day. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, and I'm throwing cards around this morning. So I'm working with Alana Fairchild's Earth Warrior cards this morning. They're a little bit special, really love them. Love her, by the way, love her energy, love her work. And for those of you that have March as your birthday, what a beautiful time to have that. And yeah, it's really lovely to see everybody here. So just a quick mention that I will be in Newcastle in May and June for about 3 weeks. So I look forward to catching up with some people there then. So cards for the week. I can't say the word, but it's Pacha Karmak. I think it's a Q on the end. And number 32, but nourishment of the soul. And this energy this week of how can you nourish your soul? And of course, it's with love. It's that energy of love. How can you be more loving? How can you be more kind? But really recognizing the changes in you. Recognizing that, 7 years ago, the vision that you had for yourself was completely different to the way that you feel now. So I really encourage you this week to step into that feeling. What does it feel like? How do I exist in the world now to what I did? And when you feel that feeling, maybe you had judgment before of yourself or others. Maybe you felt judged. So this is a time to go, well, yeah, I don't feel that anymore. Maybe feeling less scared, less vulnerable. And I know vulnerability has been a huge, huge energy for so many of you of late, me included. That feeling of, life has stopped, life is moving in a different direction. Where's it going? Do I have control? And, control is something we have to aim to let go of, to surrender into the flow. So letting go of control, letting go of the need, I guess, to understand and know everything that's happening, and to really, focus on surrendering. So Harmonic Convergence 1987, very, very strong energy this week of the end of the chaos, the end of this period. And, the ending has been happening for what I see the last 2 to 3 years. So the chaos that we've been going through, it's like really deep, deep, deep bottom of the barrel stuff. This bottom of the barrel where we've been going, oh my God, can I keep going through this? Well, yes, you can. Yes, you do. And the results that you're going to feel this week are going to be quite special. So feeling lots of yumminess, lots of connection, lots of love. Oh, wow. I really love these cards. So this is a number 4, Goddess of, it's really testing my I can't say it. Teotihuacan, let's say Teotihuacan. But it's a number 4 and it says, she guards the waters of life. Now, the waters of life flow through your veins. The waters of life is your spirit, your soul energy that is always coming forward to say, my God, woman, man, wake up, be free flowing, be artistic, be creative. And it also speaks to me, this one, of strength and the divine order. So there is an absolute divine order going on, whether or not you feel like you're in the flow of that. So yeah, really looking at this energy of divine order and just seeing all the beautiful colours there, and maybe saying what colour jumps out at you when you look at the card. I'm drawn to the third eye, to the strong focus of kind of neither smiling nor being in, it's almost like a neutral expression. So for many of you, you've probably been going through that period where you have loved ones that are potentially going through things, massive changes. They can't see the changes, you can, because you know them, and you know that this is a time of huge awakening. So if you've got, children, family, maybe older family members that are going through massive changes, having to adjust the way they live, adjust their expectations, it's a time of you having that strength, you having that focus, holding that space, not going into the pit with them, but being able to truly, truly step into that sense of who you are, that sense of knowledge that, you are indeed part of this change, a massive, massive part of this change. Always love it, always love it. So we've got this one here now. What does it say? Again, can't read the... really being challenged this morning with words. So I've got to look at that and say it doesn't matter that I can't actually read the words. But totemic puma, power awakening, the beautiful colour of the sacral chakra. But this, again, this strong focus through the eyes. So the eyes of love. I didn't get a song this morning like I normally do, but Looking Through the Eyes of Love is a song that comes through. And they're the only words I can hear at the moment, that looking through the eyes of love. And whatever the rest of the lyrics are, which I'll look up later, it's that looking through the eyes of love. And how can you do that this week? But staying strong in that focus, that even though sometimes life isn't going exactly the way you think it should, or exactly the way you want it to. And, loving the comments here and loving that thing about sacral being divinely activated. So the sacral, all about the sensual energy, the need for connection, the creative energy, that creative power we have to change, because that's what creation is. It's changing something from one form into another. So if you think about a painting, you get a canvas, you get paint, you have an idea, and it doesn't always come out the way you think it will. But then when you've created something, you've started with an idea and then you've formed something. So really moving into that space this week of creation, stepping into the power that you have when you have focus, and recognizing that focus for what it is, and using your focus this week to, create what you want. What do you want? Do you know what you want? And that's been a regular theme this year of, this 7 year. What is it that you want? What are you prepared to do? Are you prepared to surrender into it? And can you allow that beautiful flow of energy to happen? I just know that this change can be uncomfortable. So even seeing yourself differently can feel weird. It's like you have to take a different view. Who is this person now that doesn't carry all of those old insecurities? And sometimes you kind of scramble and you go back looking for them. So it's about not going back to look for those insecurities, knowing that they have gone, knowing that there is an incredible shift. And you don't, really just stepping into that shift, stepping into that change, stepping into this beautiful synchronistic flow of the divine. So that full moon of the 5th, which was yesterday, is still going to be with us for a few days. Let it shine a light into your heart. Let it shine a light into your dreams, your goals. Because I think a lot of what you've been dreaming about and wanting, you're going to see these tiny buds coming up through the surface this week, where there's this huge energy of hope. And that harmonic convergence from 1987, if any of you were part of that, I know many of you would have been around at that time. It's hugely, we're being reminded of that this is the culmination this year. 2023 is probably going to be one of the most heart-opening years for love, for connection, for peace. So I was out recently, and where I live in a beautiful area. There's always little pockets of places, people, I guess. And I went to a place last week that I don't normally go to. And my God, I was shocked. I felt like I was in the Bronx. You know, there was all this people sleeping in doorways. They were fighting and anger and, you know, all this stuff. And I was in a restaurant with a friend, and I said to the staff, do you not call the police when all this stuff is going on? And she said, oh, it happens every night. It's just the way it is here. And I thought, here I am. I've been living here for 7 years, and I've never, ever seen that happen before. But it's because I choose to live in my bubble of light. So I'd encourage you to stay in your bubble of light. Know that outside there are wars happening. Know outside there are all these things happening, but you don't have to go there. You just have to know it's there. You don't have to engage in it. You don't have to be part of it. So I think that's a really powerful message for this week, is to stay in your bubble of light. Okay, have a brilliant week. And if you haven't already, I invite you to like, comment and subscribe. Love to have you as part of my channel, and look forward to bringing you more and more as time goes on.